suppose. I've been sleeping on this gold. Now I'm woken, boy, I'm fucking on it. Pulling shit together with my bro, yeah, he keep me on my toes. So we cooking cause we fucking hungry. She just want a nigga with some goals, but this world so fucking cold. When she find love, won't know how to hold it. I've been feeling anxious on the low, I just leave it to the most. Life's a gamble and we never folding. Better yet, I welcome every wager and he take us from a line. Watch me make your money mine. Someone told me time is money, but see really that's a lie. Cause that dollar I can get it back with seconds, they go by. But don't get it twisted, I'm with it if it's by the check. I need compensation and all deposits come direct. Baby needed some shoes, lady need her a house, but I ain't counting the seconds, I'm just making it count. I woke up and decided to let them talk and I'ma be about it. And through it all, girl, I'ma be a rider for you. That's why I'm out here trying to change a dollar to two. And for the record, it's way more deep than what you expected. I'm playing chess when they saying king me, I'm yelling check me. I'm moving with a purpose and it's such a blessing. And in the end, it's worth it cause there's no regretting. I'm having a breakthrough. Break rules, yeah, that's something that the greats do. Ooh, don't ever let the evil take you. Yeah, I'm at the top and it's a break. Get it into the last straw, last straw. You know today could be your last call, last call. I don't ask permission, I blast off, blast off. Any and everything's a go, any and everything, yeah. I'm living proof when you doing you. They gon' love you or they won't, that's for them to choose. It don't matter if they don't. Lord help them, I try myself, but they out of reach. I count my blessings and say my prayers before I go to sleep. I get it, come home and shower, rinse and repeat. And cutting ties with any nigga dragging his feet. I'm cutting a line a couple times, I'm trying to eat. When you align, you never mind opinion and sheet. You wanna know that struggle, look into my eyes. You wanna know that pain, look into my eyes. You wanna know that feeling that you break rules, yeah, that's something that the greats do. Ooh, don't ever let the evil take you. Yeah, I'm at the top and it's a break. Get it into the last straw, last straw. You know today could be your last call, last call. I don't ask permission, I blast off, blast off. Any and everything's a go, any and everything's a go. I woke up and the city was on fire. You could see the pandemonium for miles. I've been living with this feeling for a while. If death is coming, I'ma greet so live it up, nigga, we gon' live it up. So can't get enough, ain't no bottom to my cup, no. Let's split it up, you know how I like my blunts, bro. If I'ma go tonight, then I'ma do it right. So live it up, nigga, we gon' live it up. So can't get enough, ain't no bottom to my cup, no.
Yes, we are. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Hump Day. It is Gap Wedge Wednesday. I'm your boy Tyson. Along with me, Jeffrey. We're going to bring you all the stuff. We got a little bit of controversy, as always, happening. We have the Orlando Magic making some moves. We have the little bit of state of the gaming industry, which is an absolute shambles, and anything else that's going to happen on before we bring in the Bad Burrito Boys to once again give you winners of this week's golf tournament. Jeffrey, how was your 4th of July, and how are we doing today, my friend?
July was spent. I was over at my mom and dad's house when I was with the kids. Did a little swimming, ate some hot dogs, had some burgers, enjoyed some fellowship with family. Did, like I said, swim a little bit, and then I huddled the kids around the TV to try to get them to enjoy one of America's greatest pastimes in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest that we had. And it was good to see that it actually came to fruition.
Did Joey Chestnut beat his record again?
He didn't. His record, I believe, is like 76 or something like that.
I think that was last year. Yeah.
No, last year he did 64, and this year he did 63.
Ooh.
So
he's slipping.
Well, but I mean, he holds the top 8 records, and this year nobody was within 13 of him. So it's not like he's slipping. I mean, maybe for him. There's also a big controversy too. It's supposed to start at noon. Obviously, they had the lightning delay and the weather delay. I don't know if you saw this, but it was they had officially canceled the event, and they pretty much got bullied on Twitter. And Joey Chestnut comes stomping out saying, "We're getting the boys together. We're going to make this thing happen." Like
I saw something. I don't know if it was Dave Portnoy or whoever tweeted it, sent out and said, yeah, Joey Chestnut just single-handedly saved America.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was probably Big. I think it was Big Cat. But yeah, so Chestnut comes out, does his thing, puts everybody to shame. Another dub, another belt, put it on the notch, keep it moving. But it was the first time they were watching it, and if you've ever watched it before, it's not the most I don't
Entertaining.
know. It's entertaining to see that like them eating, but them dunking the buns and shoving them in their mouth and the water falling
Grotesque.
Yes, it's not great. And so
I'll tell you,
my kids watched for a bit and they were like, dude, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. You don't have to watch.
The one that who deserves the biggest kudos is the MC for that event, because he makes it feel like you are watching something that's never been seen on the earth before. He gets hype for that event. It's absolutely nuts. What a great job. What a top profession. Top profession.
I mean, I tell you, that guy needs to be on the first hole of every single golf course.
For a text back from my friend, one of my friends told me that they had a pretty much wide open dining experience, and we were kind of waiting for that a little bit to see if we were going to utilize.
Originally, we didn't have any reservations at the restaurant, and I thought it'd be very easy to funnel you up to a loom, whatever, blah 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 blah. Then it turned in. We picked up 50 reservations in 2 days, a loom fully booked. Nobody could walk up there, to the point of at about 8:30 last night. Pretty much 3/4 of our staff went upstairs to go help them out. Our chefs, our managers, our support team, and it was just me. It was just me in the line. And we made it happen last night.
And see, that would have been perfect. That would have been
you wouldn't have seen fireworks.
I would have seen you. That's all that mattered.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Actually, when I did look at that, because when you said look at Loom and see if there's anything on there, I looked, and the only reservation was open. It was at 6 o'clock. I was like, I think Jeffrey's a little off on the reservation capacities at this moment. So obviously it booked up.
Ended up raining sideways too, and like shutting down a lot of outside stuff. Did you see that right there?
Freaking Mission Impossible back there.
And bum 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 bum.
I'm just wondering if what happened here? We get a green screen? Oh, looks like we're having a little bit of internet issues. Anyway, there he goes.
There he goes.
Back out of it. I see you were in your boathouse. I don't know if the boys are in here or not. I'm just going to go ahead and move it on. I was hoping Buffington and some of the boys were on here for this, but I do see you wearing your boathouse hat.
Well, this was, I don't know if you remember, I said that, Buff came over to my kids with a nice little 4th of July hat when we sat down the other day. And, Daddy liked, so Daddy took. And so I've commandeered the hat. This is now my boathouse hat. So I was just giving a little love to the old red, white, and blue, old glory.
A little controversy going on at the boathouse these days.
So as somebody who continues to keep their ear to the pulse of the restaurants, because I was there for so long and I've made so many unbelievable connections and friends, and got so much love for everybody over there. It was sad to hear that some things were changing over there. When I was in there, I told you when I was in there on Mother's Day, it was a little tough. Employees not happy, guests not happy, and then moving on into being there the other night, it was a little tough as well, just because they have decided to cut into some of the servers' money a little bit in terms of what they're making. And I guess from my issue with it is the response to it, because you're talking about people who are making their livelihood, based off these decisions that are being made by people in management. And when you approach them and ask them about things and their response to that is you make enough money, I just don't think that's right personally. And that's why I kind of wanted to touch on this subject. A couple years ago, we were coming out of pandemic, and one of the most incredible companies, I tell you what, was Boathouse, and what they did for their employees and the way that they treated everybody like absolute family. And when I was approached by one of the HR people and I was asked, what's the best way for employee retention? And I gave a few answers about what would be good, pay time off, keep the sections large, have servers be able to make money, maybe a little bit better healthcare plan, maybe a little bit of, I don't know, just, things that are matter in this world today. And I was basically laughed at. That was pretty much the point that I knew that it was time to go and that you are just a number. And I've put this in a long dissertation that I wrote to upper management as well too, that was never even spoke to me about or talked about or anything like that. And now we fast forward down the line a little bit, and we see what they're going to be going through here in the next few months. And you're doing this in one of the toughest environments. As we know, Boathouse during the summer, you make no money.
Well, you make money. It's just definitely significantly less.
Significantly less. You have to be inside, and it's just, I think some of there is going to be a backlash against some of the people who have been their top people there and have created that restaurant to be what it is, which is a $50 million machine. And it's very dangerous, the line that you walk when you think that those employees who have been part of your heart and soul and your culture become just numbers to you. And the slippery slope that we know restaurants can go down as well too.
Well, I think that, restaurants, obviously, for those who don't know, I've been in restaurants for many, many years, been on many different chains and levels and blah, blah, blah. But that's the biggest thing when it comes to employees and restaurant turnover. And restaurants have the highest turnover of any industry. It's close to 100%. And what that's stating is in a full year, if you have 60 employees on your roster, you will turn over all 60 employees. And that is just for that reason, as far as, being able to lock in your staff and keep them happy and make them feel like they're part of it versus a number. And, the larger the corporations go and, the bigger the companies get, that's unfortunately, I find it hard to believe that if, you were at Rush Street at Gibson's, that it's felt the same way. When you got people there for 20 years, 30 years, obviously that's something. And when you have people that have been there for 5, 6 years, which we were there. I mean, I was there for 5.5 years.
Yeah,
and,
almost 8.
And you say, hey, this is something that kind of needs to be addressed. Like, look at this, and they just pretty much laugh at you. I mean, you realize really quick. And, I've told my wife this as well. My wife goes above and beyond for the company that she works for now, which is Disney. And, I'm not knocking Disney or anything of that nature, but, she goes in when she's called. She does her job, at least from what I know anyway. She does her job, does this, that, and the other. And, if there's ever a time when she needs something, it doesn't happen. And, she realized that, she is a number. And that's unfortunately a way that a lot of companies in the restaurant industries treat everybody, is just a number. And you can be replaced tomorrow. And there's somebody waiting to take your job. And I think that's what you also find in restaurants, such as the ones that are in Disney Springs or in these high volume touristy areas, is you're going to be busy in spite of yourself. As long as you can come out with something mediocre service, mediocre food, you're going to continue to be busy, just from the sheer population and the numbers that come to that area and visit that area. And through, nothing of its own, that's been the success over there at Boathouse. I mean, you think about what that operation was when we first got there, like when we first opened that place and first got there, the autonomy that we had. And then, as the supervision kind of regressed, I guess I will say, as far as, keeping an eye and doing that's the other, then you saw some of this stuff get lost. But, I hope that the boys and everybody work it out. I hope that, things, if you remember, I mean, this happened before, right? I mean, and honestly, when we first started, this was the standard, and then it kind of got laxed a little bit. And then it kind of went back, and then it went back again. So, I'm sure it's just another bump in the road, another, hey, this is mine.
I don't think it is, personally, but that's just my personal opinion. And I will say this, working in that restaurant with that staff, one of the most incredible staffs I've ever been a part of, the 50% of you guys are unbelievable. And if any of you are looking for somewhere better, not that I have a spot where I'm at right now, but I'll be more than happy to try to find somebody, reach out to my many contacts that I have in this industry, and reach out and find you something different if you'd like to. So just let me know. You guys all got my number. I love all of you. Let me know. I got your back.
Speaking of something else that's just not quite good in the state of mind is I've been, obviously for those of you who don't know, I watch a lot of people on Twitch. I watch a lot of the gaming community. I watch it networks a lot.
Yeah.
Buffett, we just wrapped up a little segment about you, bro. You're gonna have to rewind it. But I've been seeing this stuff on Twitch and stuff, and it's this stupid only up game.
Yeah.
I looked at myself and I'm watching these big streamers that, once a game gets popularity, they kind of have to do it, right? They have to do it in order to get the YouTube clicks and all this other stuff. But I'm literally watching these guys jump on cars to try to make another jump, just to make another jump. What is the state of the gaming community? I mean, obviously COD's in shambles. Apex has completely screwed up this season with their rank system. Nobody's playing ranked anymore. One, because they made it so easy that you have people in ranks that shouldn't be there. Then you also have it the longest season ever without changing it. It's something like 75 days long when normally it's like 30. And so nobody's playing this anymore. We all know what's going on with Call of Duty. And them trying to cancel Nick Merckx, and a lot of those people have boycotted it, and that has affected it to some degree. But there's still those that continue to play it. And I watched that the other day, and it's still like, I mean, we're in a scary time in the gaming community right now as far as content, what's going out. I mean, when you got Nick, who's a controller player, and said he's out there playing Counter-Strike now, and spending thousands of dollars opening up packets to get certain types of guns, which I've also since this has happened, he brought a lot of attention to this game now, right? And so apparently a bunch of the kick streamers, right, the gamblers, have poured millions of dollars into this, and they've actually got their accounts banned. Counter-Strike has banned their accounts because they don't want to be affiliated with a gaming. So imagine spending $500,000 on skins and stuff, and then them canceling your account.
You know me, I spend $0 on skins. It is very listen. Call of Duty made their own bed; they're gonna have to lie in it. When it comes to the way that they treated Nick in that whole situation, and it's very unfortunate because they did it right before they dropped Vondel. And Vondel, if you like a map and you like the resurgent style of gameplay, is awesome. It reminds me a lot of Verdansk. Just the way that everything is, it's really, really good, and it's made me play COD again. But I know that they're all still, on. We're not doing COD now. Between that, I cannot play Counter-Strike. Oliver, can you please? Thank you. I mean, I let it go twice. The third time, I can't let it go. You know what I mean? It's like, which, by the way, this will probably be my last. Well, we'll see what happens.
It'll be a last stream with 2 children.
Yes, last stream is daddy of 2, father of 2, daddy to a few. Yeah, no, and Fortnite right now is a little tough as well too. I love the no build, and I know that they're all developing this new BR that they're coming out with all the guys that you know and love. They're all together working on a new BR to come out through the Fortnite platform as well too. And what Fortnite did, I think, is going to change the game. With you can create your own game. If people play it, then you can get money off of it. I think
the Unreal Engine is pretty nuts.
It's going to kind of change gaming as we know it, which is really cool as well. But yeah, it's a weird time right now because they would all love to be playing Fortnite or playing Call of Duty in this new map all day long. But unfortunately, because of what ended up happening, that is no longer an option. So
that is no longer an option, at least for some of them. But then you have the ones like Neo that are kind of, that's all he plays, and he's kind of forced into it. And that's one of Nick's best friends. So it's got to be a tough split there as well. But yeah, what a sad state of the gaming community is right now. So I don't know. I mean, sports in general, this is kind of the low end of the season, the dark days as we call it. We only have a little bit of Major League Baseball coming up. We have our 2 completely dark days, and I don't know if you know this. There's 2 days in sports where there's no sports whatsoever, and that is going to be the day before and the day after the All-Star game, which that is coming up. So if you haven't, that would be Sunday and Tuesday. So if you have plans with the family or want to have a baby, those are the days to do it. So that way you can make sure that you don't miss any sports action. I got
everything fit in perfectly right now.
You do. You have it. You have
planned this. Like it's so funny because my wife's job right now is like so slow, and I'm so slow at work as well too. It's just you get out to the 4th. There's no conventions in town. It's really hot in Florida. This is hurricane season. People don't want to schedule those trips and have something get canceled. Like we planned this baby perfectly.
So it was a plan. So it was planned, huh?
Completely unplanned. God works in mysterious ways.
TJ, welcome in. I hope Gray breaks his arm today, right after the first pitch. Welcome to the show, TJ, though. Thanks. TJ, make sure you give that thumbs up on YouTube there. The Orlando Magic, Jeffrey's hometown team, is
TJ.
making some serious moves here.
TJ, make sure you rewind and hear about our boathouse opening.
If you can hear it over Jeff moving his microphone back and forth, it'll be a very interesting listen.
Yes,
but
we
yeah,
have Anthony Parker taking over as general manager of the Orlando Magic. So very excited. It's a new era of Magic basketball.
I got way more explanation in the pre-show. I had way more passion in regards to this. There was a few other moves that the Orlando Magic made at their front office as well. Do I have to pry this out of you this morning on this take, or can I get the pre-show take? Bring it on.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to expound on it either. That was a back and forth right there. That just wasn't.
I have no idea what's happening. So I think we both know that.
So Anthony Parker, if you don't know who Anthony Parker is, he played for the Toronto Raptors. Actually played for the Orlando Magic as well too. His basic claim to fame so far has been he's the brother of Candace Parker, who is obviously one of the greatest women's players of all time. But he has worked for the Lakeland Magic for the G League affiliate that they have. Through the NBA as well too. He's been the GM over there. He transitioned to a different role last year with the Magic, and he's going to take over for Jeff Weltman as general manager of the Orlando Magic, and he will be running the day-to-day operations. Weltman will now transition into the front office at 68 years old, getting a little bit more up there in years, more of an advisory role, just kind of overlooking everything. We appreciate all the time that he's put in. We appreciate the transparency with which they have operated the Orlando Magic, which is absolutely zero. And we, as Magic fans, we appreciate that. Play things close to the vest. I don't need my business all out in the streets. We know one thing about John Hamm and Jeff Weltman: they will not leak anything. It is a tight ship that they run over there, and we appreciate you bringing that to Orlando, who has been like a sieve leaking things off of a boat before you got here when it was a different regime. So
Civ leaking things off a boat. What an analogy. Got to give a shout out over to YouTube. Dylan for the first time viewer, first time jumping in. Dylan, thanks a lot for joining us. Stick around. We're going to be getting into Gap Wedge Wednesday here. We're going to give you the picks for you to win some cashola this week.
I heard Dylan can play some golf. Jeremy told me.
Yeah.
He says he's a pretty good golfer, so I got to get him out there, see if I can take some money that he's making off of this day trading.
Dylan's making money off day trading, huh? Maybe I need to follow Dylan because I've been losing money on day trading.
You should. You guys should talk, man. You guys should do a little segment about it.
Is that Dylan that I used to know? Dylan?
I think it's Dylan from Boathouse, yeah.
Dylan the barback / move to server?
That was a long time ago, man.
That was a long time ago. Dylan, is that you?
Been a server for a long, long time.
Yeah, he's been a server for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did also see that he said he'd love to beat you in some golf, apparently. So I think that is the same Dylan that we're talking. And he's trading as we speak. Yes. Did you catch that move on Meta this morning, buddy? That thing was just rolling. So I did also see that the Orlando Magic made a move. They cut ties to Bobo.
The man's so nice, they named him twice. Bol, unfortunately. I would love to see Bol back in an Orlando Magic uniform. He was the original unicorn before unicorns existed.
I saw that, I think I did see that. I think it was on Facebook. I can't remember what social site I did see it, but the Orlando Magic fans that I saw on that were pretty split on him. A lot of them didn't really understand why you cut him. They thought that they added value plus the price point. maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that.
I don't honestly. Maybe they're saving a roster spot for something that I don't see in the near future, or it could be happening. They also have Summer League that's about to start up, coming here soon. There's a big that we have, Kai something, that they have from the Philippines, I believe, who's like 7'2", 7'3", lefty scorer, shot blocker, who I think they want to make the roster and they're rooting for him to. So this might be a move in anticipation of that. Instead of having to opt in and pay a guy, and does Bol get signed by anybody? I don't know. But Bol was great. The problem is Bol's highs were very high and his lows were very, very low. So while Bol could be the unicorn, get a rebound, push the ball up the court, take two steps or two strides literally from the half court line and go up and dunk a ball, he could also be dribbling down the court and forget that he was dribbling the ball. Leave it behind him. So there was a yin and a yang to Bol. God, I'm gonna miss saying the name Bol. Just one more time, Bol. We miss you. We love you. We hope you come back, maybe in some kind of a two-way contract or something like that. But we got him in that trade. We got him in the Aaron Gordon. Bobo.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Nicely done.
Magic making big moves.
Oh, Jeremy, I'm sorry I didn't have the executive chat open. Yes, yes, that is Dylan from Boathouse, the same one that we're all well aware of, and he is a big day trader, according to what Jeremy said. Big day trader. Big. Yes,
love that.
Yes, I think we're all waiting to see where the markets go from here, Dylan. It's funny thing you brought that up. I'm going to start streaming live day trading. We're going to bring back the Davey Day Trader.
Little Davey Day Trader?
Yeah, little Davey Day Trader, bro. We're going to bring it back.
What a dynamic time, you know? Like, that was just such a fun time with Portnoy, where he was doing that, and he would, like, misclick and accidentally, buy, or, he didn't mean to buy. He meant to sell, and instead he bought another million shares instead of selling the million shares. And just, like, watching his ebbs and flows, his ups and downs of everything, I thought was highly entertaining.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, bro. Like today I clicked it, I was like, oh, this is going so good, and then I'm like, I should probably sell. I'm like, fuck it, let's roll. And then it was like, oh shit, oh shit. It's good entertainment though. Good entertainment.
What happened with Meta?
Oh, Meta ran all day. I just did. Yeah, $15 move from open to like 10 15.
What's the reasoning behind that?
No, and Dylan can attest to this. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. If anybody tells you that they know how the overall market moves or why it moves, they're smoking crack and they're lying to you. Nobody knows exactly what makes a stock price go up or down. There could be news. There could be a catalyst movement. There could be something that breaks, like. The story today was Rivian, signed up for another 100 more trucks, to back Amazon with their electric trucks, and they're going to start shipping it to Europe. So it popped in pre-market, and then it dived at the open. Like, nobody knows, bro. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You can guess. It's guessing gambling. That's all it is.
So is it just, are people just being like reactionary to positions then? Like if you see like somebody buy a big short against, and then you react to that, or is that like?
Nah, usually like day trade. Well, it depends. If you're swing trading, that's something. But a day trader, you're pretty much looking at the liquidity of the market as far as buy-sell orders. Like, where is the money at? Is it more towards the buy side? Is it more towards the sell side? If it's more towards the sell side, then the price is going to go up. If it's going to the buy side, it's going to go down. But then all of a sudden, you'll just see somebody come in and bloop, and then or the market makers wants to do something to let a big fish in, so they drop the price, and that usually will hit everyone's stop loss and stop them out. Then the big boys get in, and then it shoots back up. It's quite a as Dylan said, it's 90% psychology as far as day trading. It's quite emotional. But speaking of losing money and being a bust, before we get into the Gap Wedge Wednesday, which I don't see the boys in there, Jeremy, you might want to reach out to them. Michelle Wee is retiring at the bold age of 33. I think he said 33. Now, for those of you who don't know Michelle Wee
West.
Would she marry Kanye too? She's out there golfing in Yeezys. She came out as this prodigy of golf. Johnny West. Oh, she married her caddy. Okay.
Yeah, one for the little guys.
Yeah, one of us. She came out at like 16 or 17 years old as this golf prodigy, right? And I'm putting this up on the media. The media, you guys are the absolute cancer of the world. And yes, I guess, are we part of the media too? I think kinda. No, we're not part of the media.
We're just two guys with shitty opinions, talking sports and sometimes politics.
Exactly. The media put this out as, she's this great, and they made a big push for her before she even played against women to play against men, to be on the men's tour, to play against the men, and it did not go well. Well, it went about as well as you thought it was going to go. All right, but they continue to push this narrative. So then, she kind of went back into the shadows a little bit. And Jeremy, can you bring up her stats from the LPGA? I think she's won a handful of tournaments even on the LPGA. I think it's got to be when you're talking about one of the biggest busts. She's won 5. Oh, that's an exact handful. Man. I guess you can't really call that a complete bust considering Ricky Fowler's only won 6. But based on what they put her on in this pedestal on, it was pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad, So, shout out to Michelle Wee for going through it all and going through all of the crap that she had to go through. But she's no Annika Sorensen, okay? She's no Annika.
No, I mean, she was more of like an Anna Kournikova, I would say, in terms of...
Anna Kournikova was hot. That's the only reason why she got there. Michelle Wee could actually play the game.
Michelle Wee, so was Anna Kournikova was pretty good at tennis.
She was mediocre at best. Michelle Wee came out. Yes.
You don't think Anna Kournikova was ever like a top 10 tennis player?
No.
Jeremy, we need a fact check on
you
this.
You want to bring me up?
Bring it up. Type it in
some stats?
Type it in right now.
Anna Kournikova became popular because she was hot and she was a model.
I think she was a pretty good tennis player that turned out to be hot. And
I said pretty good. I said pretty good. I said mediocre, middle of the pack.
All right, fine. Settle line. What was the over-under on what Anna Kournikova was ranked in the world at one point? Go ahead. Next round of golf, we're betting on it.
I don't play golf.
Without looking at your computer.
Oh, he typed it in. He's like, I have the number.
Stop looking to the left.
We're talking about world rankings, right?
World ranking. What was her highest world ranking in tennis?
I'm going to say 15.
I'm going to go under 15. Okay. Jeremy, give it to us.
8.
8. See, top 10. She was a top 10 tennis player in the world at one point.
How long? How long was she in the top 10?
A year. I'm going to say a year, maybe 13, 14 months.
Never won a single title. Never won. Never won.
Okay, well, she got with Enrique Iglesias,
Because she was hot and she was a model.
Michelle Wee got with her caddy. Whatever. That's not to say that Michelle Wee would not crush us in golf.
Ben Affleck married Jennifer Gardner. You married a bartender. Little TED Talk. You remember Ted? Matt Damon? Okay, never mind.
No.
Go ahead. Yeah, so if you think that Anna Kournikova became famous because she was once a top 8 tennis player, go ahead.
Well, I think she became famous because she was a good-looking top 8 tennis player, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. But Michelle Wee was also, not a sight for sore eyes.
She was 16, Jeffrey.
I'm not talking about when she burst onto the scene. I'm talking about, a few years down the road when, she was doing commercials.
When she was 17?
No, whatever, dude. Just forget you.
He's in a corner.
No, but shout out Michelle Wee. Obviously, she would dominate us all over the golf course. And I am actually very much looking forward. This is a funny thing. So one of my buddies was actually a caddy, right? Or is a caddy. And he caddies for a lot of female golfers. But also he does men sometimes too. He's an equal opportunity employer drawing creativity from diversity. But he was actually caddying for this chick and got her qualified a few weeks ago for the Women's U.S. Open coming up at Pebble Beach. Qualified her. The next day she fired him and dropped him. So he put in like 6 months of his life, right, caddying for this chick to get her to the point where she qualified for the Women's U.S. Open. And then when she qualified for the Open, the minute that happened, she dropped him like a bad habit, bro. And most of the time we don't actually, I don't even understand that analogy because I don't think we drop bad habits that much. But yeah, anyway.
Well, I think that we've all seen that happen many times in life, when somebody reaches a certain point and somebody else gets what they want out of that said person, that they just happen to drop them like a dead ball.
Jeremy, move them back out, please.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those situations, but it will be good to see. So there's a girl who's playing in the U.S. Open coming up, Rose Zhang. I don't know if you've seen this story about her. She crushed a lot of records that Tiger's held at Stanford. She's been like one of the top.
How can she crush a record that Tiger had at Stanford when she doesn't play men's golf?
Tournaments won, stuff like that.
Women's tournaments won.
Okay. Whatever, dude. Be sexist. I don't care.
How am I sexist? How can you compare and say that she's breaking Tiger Woods' records when she doesn't play in said same sport that has his records?
Well, yeah, but that's like me saying, oh, well, if if a female golfer was to win 20 majors, right? We would consider her the best female golfer of all time. What I'm saying is that she broke a lot of Tiger's like records that he had in school.
She didn't break any of Tiger's records. What? They give me one record she broke of Tiger's.
Most tournaments won. I think national championships won. I don't
by
know.
A woman.
Yes, for
versus by a man.
Okay. You can be whatever you want to be, Tyson.
We ain't talking about Leah Thompson over here, bro. We're talking about
it's not even Thompson. It's Leah Thomas.
It's not Thomas. It's not Thomas.
It is Leah
not Thomas. It is not Thomas. It is Thompson.
Okay. Go ahead and look it up.
I'm not looking up shit because I don't care what it says. It's Thompson. I don't care.
You owe me a round of golf, by the way. I just wanted to let you know after that.
No. Anyway, I understand what you're trying to. I understand what you're trying to say in regards to this, but I just hate those type of comparisons. She is her own individual. She broke every women's record, you could say, every golf record that they had at said school that she went to. I'd be fine with all of that. But didn't Cheyenne Woods do the same thing? She broke records over there as well.
Oh, not like this, no.
Okay, not like this. Close. Okay, not even close. Okay.
We got about 3 to 5 minutes while we're waiting on the Gap Wedge Wednesday boys to load up the Excel spreadsheet with the formula on it as well too. Anything else you want to talk about before we?
Is there a sidebar chat that I'm unaware of here?
Yes. There is.
Oh. Well, no. I guess. Well, take it away. I don't know. Fill it in.
I have nothing. I
have no idea. I was bringing them in to finish up the Michelle We Talk and then make a beautiful transition in there, only to find out that there's a sidebar chat that I'm not even in that we're talking about. Hey, there's going to be a delay. Like, first of all, Jeremy, you're fired. Okay, you're the 3-time producer. That should have been in there. Hey, this is what's going on. How is there another chat that impacts this show that I'm unaware of?
Did you see where the Angels? This is one thing I thought was crazy, bro. In a 24-hour span, it always happens with the Angels. I feel like the Angels are just cursed, right? Like they have to be. In a 24-hour span, Trout breaks his wrist, all right, on a swing. Rendon fouls a ball off of his leg and is now in a walking boot. And Ohtani, blister on his hand, is now removed from the game, got shelled against the Padres yesterday, is now not throwing in the All-Star game, and might not participate and be able to swing in the home run derby.
Well, if he's not going to play in the All-Star game, he's not going to be in the home run derby. Because he also injured himself on that swing.
The blister was on the swing? I thought the blister was when he was throwing.
That's when he tried. Something happened during his at bat, which is I briefly listened to the commentary while this game was going on, and then he went back out to try to work through it, as what they said, as far as when he started to pitch, and then he got immediately pulled. So
I saw it on TBS, the Superstation. But that being said,
it's a good thing you said the Superstation, because I don't think anybody would have known what TBS was.
Okay,
this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be when you continually cut me out of your life. Continually cut me out of your life to put things on the side, to have your own little shenanigans, and then, just I don't have
shenanigans. I do have a separate text with Chad and Paul where I asked them if they're ready. I asked them what's going on.
Okay, so if you started the text, why would you not put that on the show text? Or the 19th hole text. And be like, hey, guys, you ready? What's up?
They told me that they weren't ready. They said we need more time.
So they did it. So they did it on the private chat. Okay. All right.
Correct. As soon as they said they need more time, then I guess, decided to bring them in with the Michelle We thing. And then I said, oh, no, we need to move them back out. They will be here very shortly. And I know we probably have a lot of people watching right now in anticipation because they did hit again another week. Ricky Fowler finally comes through for us, which was crazy. Him, Morikawa had one in the playoff. Really, really, really good stuff.
I did see somebody that tweeted about Ricky Fowler? Oh, it was Phil Mickelson. Oh God,
What did Phil say? Well, you know, Phil and Ricky were pretty tight. They used to play those cash games every single Monday. It's like Mondays or Tuesdays. There was always big articles about it. They'd play for huge money on their practice rounds and stuff like that. So they were good buddies. So hopefully Phil had some nice words to say and he wasn't a dickhead about it.
No, it was something that they compared to the two. Here it is. This was the tweet here. I have always liked, I don't know who this unicorn is. I've always liked Ricky Fowler, but he chokes tomorrow guaranteed. Likely shoots over par. He's playing some really good golf, but sadly a modern day Phil Mickelson that just can't close out a 54 hole lead anymore. To which Mr. Phil Mickelson chimed back, "Dear Unicorn, I have one of the highest closing rates with a 54-hole lead in history, so I'm assuming when you're talking about modern day that you're referring to overall handsomeness."
I mean, what a great rebuttal from Phil. I thought originally, anyway. I think the boys are ready now. We can kind of bring them in.
Yeah, take it over. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how to drag them in here.
I don't know either.
I don't have the abilities to do it. Oh, thank God. Jeremy can do it.
There's a shocker
from his phone. What's the shocker?
That you don't have the ability to do something.
Two in the pink, one in the stink. That's what I heard.
I don't know.
Welcome to Gap Wedge Wednesday. It is a pleasure to have the boys in today. Let's get this segment started off. Paulie Parputz still up in Rhode Island, from what I understand. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
It's great.
Did I
Weather's
see?
nice. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No. Because I want to refer to this Woodford. Was it Woodford that you had? that pour? That was incredible, dude. How many ounces was that?
It had to be 5.
5 ounce pour of Woodford Reserve, and it set you back how much?
$10.
$10.
It was comically big.
Is that like so have you been back to that establishment since that happened?
No.
Okay. 'Cause I didn't know if maybe you had gone back and tried to order that again to see if that's just the standard is the standard, or if that was like, just a one-off and you're not going.
I am fairly certain it was a one-off. The bartender mentioned that she had just got back into town after living away for a while. She was kind of guest bartending at a couple of the local dives.
Moonlighting, as they say.
Yeah, and we were Rhode Island's not that big of a state, but we are splitting time between closer to the airport and down by the shore. So we're currently in the beach house. So the drive just for 5 ounces of Woodford is probably not practical.
Tyson, as somebody who's familiar with Rhode Island, do you know these places that Paul's talking about right now?
I am nowhere near familiar with Rhode Island. I went there one time and I was excited to leave, and I swore I would never go back unless somebody put a gun to my head.
It's upsetting. Well, your wife and your family are from Rhode Island,
and they all left.
All right, Chad, how's it going, man? How was your 4th of July? How to go with the wife and Ireland, and how's the day?
I don't really know how to respond after what I just heard. Wow.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Anyway, Chad's a Rhode Island truther. He's going to make his second trip to Rhode Island in just a few weeks.
I'm just saying, unless you just have to go there, there's no reason to go to Rhode Island. Like, there's so many other wonderful places in the United States or abroad or anywhere else. So unless you have to go there, you're not going.
Beautiful city, Chicago.
It's not like you're going to, like, okay, like that's even a comparison. It's not like you're like, hey, babe, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, we could go to Miami, we could go to California, or we can go to Rhode Island. Yeah, let's go there.
Well, I hope that Paul's having a great time in Rhode Island. And Chad, you are going to Rhode Island very soon as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll be taking a mini golf trip up there. That's why I go, to get away and play some golf, like for a few days in a row with nothing to worry about. Hit up a casino or two maybe.
I'm definitely going to go to this place that has 5-ounce Woodford for $10.
Yeah, that sounds like a place to go as well
Yeah.
too. I mean,
And that's
so
for my fourth. It
Sure.
was, you saw me last night. I was working, so I didn't really. I saw the family for about 5 minutes.
but
and,
did they see you? Is the real question.
Well, you heard, yesterday that. Yeah, my daughter walks right by me. Doesn't say anything. Her mother kind of gives her a little stern, say hello to your father. So she's like, "Hey," and just walks off. I'm like, "Oh, cool. Yep, you're already at that age, huh?" So it was good.
Yeah, that's have kids. They say unconditional love. They say,
Daughter's already phasing me out of her life.
Yep,
So
that's it. Well, but you know what? She's gonna need you to pay for that wedding someday. So
yeah, so she better be nice.
Exactly, and you got to figure that one out as well too. Hey, so Tyson had brought up a point. And I did want to get your thoughts on it real quick before we get into some of the players that we like this week and a recap of last week as well too. Michelle Wie announcing her retirement from women's golf. She's gonna play the Open this week here at Pebble Beach, and she's basically going to ride off into the sunset. Tyson said thinks maybe one of the biggest busts of all time. Paul, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you.
Well, first of all, since we're going to rebuttal to my statement, let me just clarify. One of the biggest busts, yes, but was way overhyped by the media, and the pressure that the media put on her to compete against men was completely unfounded, which created that atmosphere. Thank you.
Paul,
I can actually agree with Tyson on that one.
Okay, Jeff. Yeah, thank you. So you think that it's just a media thing for Michelle Wie?
Yeah, I mean, I think that she was a great talent. She did get a few injuries that set her back a little bit, and the amount of pressure that the media did put on her, because like they hadn't seen anyone supposedly like this in golf or women's golf since Annika Sorenstam. So, I mean, it's like a big deal.
And that's what I hated about it.
I thought she retired a few years ago, actually.
I thought she took a step back when she had kids and stuff like that, kind of like Serena did a little bit, but I might have been mistaken.
It was because also she was playing absolutely terrible golf, so she's like, I'm playing terrible golf. Let's go have kids and take a break.
No, I just hope they don't. I hope that they don't do that to this new Stanford chick, Zhang or whatever her name is.
Yes, the one that's breaking all of Tiger Woods' records.
Well, I mean, it's not really comparable, but.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
Yeah. Totally comparable.
Anyway.
I don't get how women's records and men's records are comparable, but.
Well, let's ask Jeffrey. Jeffrey, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah.
Get it out, Jeffrey. Come on. This is your time to shine.
Listen, all I said was that
Well
Rojang, thank you. Rojang is going to be a generational golfer. She's fantastic. She got a lot of praise coming out of Stanford, as she did break some of the collegiate records that were set by Tiger Woods for the school. Okay, for the school of Stanford in golf, whether it be men's or women's. She broke some of those records. So let me clarify my exact statement with saying that as well too. Paul, any thoughts on Michelle Wie or what we got looking forward to at the Women's U.S. Open?
Yeah, I think if we remember episode 2 of Full Swing, Michelle Wie was really talking about how the injuries, and she didn't really know if she'd come back, so she had to do some other stuff. And I thought that was Brooks. She won on the LPGA.
She won 5 tournaments.
She is someone who we are talking about now. I think her appearance and her early golf ability, so being good at golf young. So I saw a stat on Twitter while I was looking at this. Lexi Thompson is about to play in her 17th U.S. Women's Open, and she's 28 years old. I don't know if it's right. I didn't fact check it.
There's no way. She played in 11?
I don't know, man. This is what I saw. So she's been around a long time. Now
I can do math.
If you want to talk about biggest golf bust, hype to output, and regardless of gender. Do you remember the name Ty Tryon?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to say him.
So Ty Tryon.
He was in my district for golf in high school.
He was in the Tiger Woods video game. You could have played as Ty Tryon.
Yeah,
He hadn't even done anything yet.
I don't know what he ever did as far as anything.
That's what I'm saying.
he
Like,
was
this
signed to
before he-
Target and Callaway, and
This was before he was
everything
even
when he
like
turned pro. He was the first
on-
18-year-old, right?
Yeah, it was like when Bryce Harper was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 16. Nobody's like, this kid's gonna end up like, an MVP. Yeah, he did all right.
Yeah, so did LeBron James as well too.
Is he fine?
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's pretty good. What was the other one I was going to say? What was the Kim kid that had the really big belt buckles that he used to wear?
Anthony Kim.
Anthony Kim, that was supposed to be really, really good as well too. That's one of the ones that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Somebody who just completely fizzled out after 1 year. I feel like, but
Well, you just say the name Kim, and you're going to have a very good chance of one of the 25 hitting.
So not to interrupt here, but we do have our 3-time Emmy-nominated producer chiming in here, Jeremy. Lexi Thompson was the youngest golfer to ever qualify for the U.S. Women's Open at the age of 12.
wow.
So then, yeah, this could be her 17th.
So yeah, if she played at 12,
Because she'll
then-
probably turn
yeah.
29 later this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And the fact that she qualified every single year
every year
since.
after, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we don't know
it's
where
pretty
she
cool.
finished when she was 12. She could have finished in the qualifying position.
Right,
Right.
but that's still good enough to qualify for everyone
Absolutely.
since.
Absolutely. That's nuts. That's
Did I
My
nuts.
see two-
suspicion is we will have that answer very shortly.
Yeah. Did I see too where Sergio didn't qualify?
It was
I thought I got
86, 82, and she missed the cut.
I mean, she's 12.
Well, if we're going to give her kudos for shooting it, get it in at 12, we're going to give her the not accolades for shooting 86, 82. Okay? It's a two-way
Like-
street. It's a two-way
A
street.
lot like
What would you have shot?
Sergio.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot like Sergio. Yeah, what did Sergio? Yeah, so I saw Sergio missed one of his qualifyings, right, and is no longer eligible for the Open.
What?
Yeah, I don't think
I
he's
thought
going
he
to play in the Open.
I thought he... Oh, the British Open. The
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah, the Open.
The Open
Open.
Championship.
Correct. Yeah, that's just a little brain fart there, guys. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cause a big stir there. My bad. You
Doing a
guys should
great
talk
job,
about
guys.
that on the separate text group
I
chat.
do want to. Yeah, he is upset that we have a separate group chat. It is what it is.
That's
I
not
do
what
want
I
to get
said.
into a little bit of giving you guys your kudos and your props again. Once again, Rocket Mortgage Classic comes in. Michigan, Detroit. Is that correct? Is that where it was?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit Country Club.
From one crappy city like Chicago to another.
Easy there,
Here we
cowboy.
are.
All right.
We are
Remind me to
Detroit,
take you to the
Michigan.
south side and drop you off next time I'm up there.
Obviously, weather played a little bit of an issue here. Us not being able to tune in properly, and the mad scramble it was to try to find this on there. But you guys hit once again, Ricky Fowler. I know, Chad, you were telling me last night you guys had like the top 4 guys you had pieces of. Is that correct, Chad?
Yeah. After the turn on Sunday, it was pretty much impossible for me and Paul, one of the two, not to win because we had Hadwin, Morikawa, Fowler, and Shank between the two of us.
And can I get a little clarification here? Because I tried to give you some even more flowers on Monday because I thought it was Colin
Don't do
Morikawa that we tried to break down, and I brought up questions about he hasn't performed well. How is he going to perform as good as you thought? Was that the same golfer that we were talking about?
That was
Yeah.
actually the Travelers. We did that.
It was the
And
week
then-
before.
The week before, and then he had the bad burrito on Thursday, and then he shot 7 under on Friday.
Seven on Friday.
And
Yep.
Paul and I were like, someone like that is.
So
gonna
was the
feel
golfer a different tournament?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think Tyson, you might have mentioned that he hadn't played at Detroit.
I think he said that he missed every cut is what I saw. Like he typically doesn't play
No, he
well at
missed-
that course.
He missed every cut at Travelers.
Yeah.
And that's why you're asking about him. And then we said that his approach game and all that was stepping up. And then, Thursday he made it impossible pretty much to make the cut at Travelers. So,
Makes sense.
but then that's why we were on him this week because he was trending in the right direction. He shot 7 under on Friday, which is his last round before Detroit. And then he went into Detroit and was, 6 or 7 under in the first day and just kept going. So,
right on.
So,
right on.
got to
we're
be
just
a
a week
good.
early on him, I guess.
Yeah, got to be a good feeling, having all 4 of those guys going into the stretch for you as well too, and kind of having a sweat-free Sunday,
just-
if you will, but you're just
yeah,
trying
it
to, you
ended
just
up
want
being
the highest money, you know.
exactly. It ended up being a root for the highest money, and it didn't come through, but it was still making money. So
Yeah, you're still making money. It's all good.
Boy, the field.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
What's up?
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The field wasn't very good, so it was much easier to pick golfers. Is that what
No,
you're
I was
saying?
just gonna say the field at the John Deere is absolute dog shit. As I'm looking at it right now,
Field at the John Deere is not the best of the year.
this is Deere shit.
However, you know, transitioning, Paul, what are we looking at? Where are we playing at? And what do we got going on today, Paul?
It is in Silvis, Illinois.
Tyson's
John
got
Deere
to know where that
Classic.
is.
Hole.
TPC Deere Run. It's, par 71. A little over 7,200 yards, but plays shorter than that because all the par 3s are longer, and there's only 3 par 5s. So easiest par 3s on tour. This is the weakest field that we've seen of the year. It feels like it's by far. Of the names that are in there, casual golfers will probably know 1 or 2, and that's pretty rough. We also have the John Deere is like it's a crapshoot. It is the 30th most predictive of winners. So tough to find the mark, but we're gonna give it a shot.
Love that. What are we, Chad? What kind of formula do we got that we're looking at this week? Are we looking at guys who drive the ball? Are we looking at good putters? Are we looking at, you know, approach? What do we got for the formula that we're putting into the old Excel spreadsheet this week?
this is going to be a second shot and putting event.
Okay.
A lot of the shape of the course, a lot of it is forced layups. So you just got to be in the fairway, hit greens. So driving average is only like a little over 280 plus. So guys aren't just getting out there and ripping it on a lot of the par fours. So it's gonna be another one of those approach and putt. A lot of trends point to having good approach coming in. Last 6 winners here played last week in an event. 5 of the 6 have made the cut, and gaining strokes approach was a big thing. And 5 of the 6 last winners have played the John Deere at least once before, and 5 of the last 9 were first-time winners. So, I mean, you can kind of get that a lot of first-time winners happen here, because the fact the fields are so crappy that you're not going to have a lot of guys that've already playing, because a lot of the guys, when it comes to John Deere, going overseas, getting ready for the Open. So a lot of rookies and long shots have a shot, but the odds actually go down too, because last year our motto was about posting, and I literally told Paul, I'm like, I can't bet JT posting at 35. He should never be 35. And he went out and won. So I learned my lesson last year, and I can bet these guys at lower numbers. Like Eric Cole is only 25 when we've been betting him at 70 to 100 all year.
Yeah.
But he might be a play this week at 25, you know? So it's like, don't let the numbers get you off of who you like. It's my key advice this week.
So I got 2 guys that I'm kind of circling here, and I'm going to kind of throw out some names, and you let me know if that might fit the mold or maybe not. And one of them I think has been playing really well. I actually had him a few weeks ago at the Travelers, and that's Callum Tarrant. He's been pretty hot lately, I feel like. I don't know if his game fits that, but I want to say, did he miss the cut last week? I'm sorry. Actually,
No, he made it.
He made the cut, right? I thought he made the cut. I thought he played well. He was in the top to start as well, too. Does somebody like him maybe fit the mold over here, that we're looking for long shots with that kind of game, who are a little bit hot, who made a cut last week, who are kind of coming in, who may be okay on approach and putting? Paul?
So I am scrolling down our model and have not come to the name Callum Tarrant yet. So I'm going to throw him. But throw him
I
up in the
got
six.
him. I got him. I can take Callum. He his approach game
Okay.
is on point right now. Last two, he gained 5.7 at Rocket Mortgage and gained 3.3 at Travelers. The only problem is putting. His putting is horrible right now. That's probably what's costing. Like, he was 29th at Rocket Mortgage and 33rd at Travelers. Two courses that should have fit him well because it's wide open. He's a big drive guy, 310 average distance. So, and ironically, he putts good on bent. So maybe getting back on bent. I don't know if the last two were bent or not, but I know this one is. So maybe getting back on bent, he can actually find something. Because bent grass is his best putting grass. So maybe he can find something.
Is there anybody that we got circled at the top of that model that maybe guys are overlooking or that we're looking to plug and play this week?
Yeah, so and just to put a bow on Taryn, he's 52nd in the field over the last 50 rounds on bent in putting. Short game numbers, he's in the bottom third of the field, and fairways gained, which based on this rough being, wait for it, penal, he is
Tyson's favorite word.
He's missing more fairways than he's making. So this is a place where you want to be fairways and greens and go low. So
Sure.
I'm not going to be on Taryn.
So we will scratch him off the list. And I just remember I've seen his name pop at the top a few times. I had him on one of my rosters as well too. So I didn't know if maybe he fits the mold. Who are some guys who might actually fit the mold for us, Paul?
Yeah, one thing I do want to mention, just to give credit where it's due, is, and I might have said it before, but we use a website called Fantasy National Golf Club for our stats. It's a great tool. It's fantasynational.com. Free plug. Another account on Twitter that we reference quite often, PGA Splits 101. Just some real good stuff, insight, trends that we mentioned come from there. So, we're gathering information from around the industry. I don't want to make it seem as though this is all stuff that we've, grinded down and researched. You got to find the information. We do put custom models together based on the information we get from around the industry. So where we get to, for instance, Ricky Fowler last week was the most bet golfer around. Vegas lost on this one. So, I'm not going to victory lap that one as much as maybe the Chris Kirk and Cameron Davis top 10s or top 20s. And Chad, hit a couple top 10s on Jaeger and Shank. So those, where we get the kind of diamonds in the rough is from, mining the data that we find. So after that, digression, I'll get back to some names at the top. Guys who've been playing really well as far as approach, putting go, Adam Hadwin and Denny McCarthy. Those are going to be two of the favorites in the field. Shank, that we just mentioned. Jeff, one of your favorites, Ches Reavie.
My guy.
Yeah, he's gained the most strokes on approach in the field over the course of the last 12.
Time to drop a bomb on you. Ches Reavie. He's the Poston of this year. The highest finisher at the Travelers went on to win the John Deere.
He's been up there too. I feel like he's due to actually punch one home here.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's the Poston of 23 because that's what happened. Poston was the highest finisher at the Travelers in the field of the John Deere and then won it.
Yeah, a lot of red zone opportunities, but we've been kicking a lot of field goals with Ches Reavie. I think it's about time we score a touchdown here as well.
Well, that's why you got top 10s and top 20s, Jeff.
Yeah, I know.
You still get paid.
He's great value on DraftKings.
What an analogy.
High 7,000s.
Oh, that's great on DK for sure. He should be in every lineup on DK then.
So a couple other guys that you're going to get in the 7,000s, if you're trying to build that lineup. Justin Lower, the best putter in the field on bent over the last 24 rounds. We also have Carson Young.
Boom.
Not Cameron Young.
Is he?
Speaking of Cameron Young, we feel like attacking Cameron Young is the play this week.
Yeah.
You find any matchups against him? Do it.
Yeah, you're going to get him
he's
against
gonna be
guys
favored.
like Russell Henley and Adam Hadwin, Denny McCarthy, lesser known guys.
That should outplay him in a course like this.
And you're going to have to, bite the bullet, but, lay an extra point here or there.
He is the favorite in the field, right?
Yeah.
Cam Young?
Is he?
I mean, according to our fantasy golf pool, he is the
Oh, no, he's
the highest rated.
highest rated, like,
golf rank.
Yeah, not even close.
I
Go ahead.
have him as the third favorite. I'm
Okay.
looking at a book with not great numbers at the top, but this particular book is Denny McCarthy at 12-1, Russell Henley at 14-1, and Cameron Young at 16-1.
Okay.
Just for reference, Cameron Young is 72nd on our model in this field of unknowns.
That's crazy. Chad, anybody you got that you like that you want to throw out some names or maybe put a flagship down on this week?
Well, I mean, Paul pretty much hit on a lot of them.
Yeah.
He did leave out Steven Yeager. I feel like it's the way he's been playing lately. It's his time to move from the Corn Ferry to PGA to win. I do like Reeve because of everything he's been doing lately. A couple guys at correlating courses that I looked at that played very well at those courses were Chad Ramey and Zach Blair. 2 long shots, and it might fill up a pool or a DK lineup for you. Definitely throwing some top 20s in there on them, maybe to win at like over 100-1. Crazy things happen at John Deere, so a couple guys like that. Maybe if they can get their putter together, Alex Smalley. He's been a great approach guy lately. He's only 33-1, but that's the thing. Like something like this week, you're pretty much gonna be top heavy on guys because it's the ones you know.
Yeah.
And then you throw a couple long shots out there to try to better yourself.
Tough week, but we got some diamonds in the rough, and that's why you guys are 2 of the best in the business as well, too. Any last thoughts that we have for them, Tyson, or anything you want to ask them?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I think Chad and the boys pretty much have just mentioned everybody on my lineup. Now I realize, again, it's not a very deep lineup, but I'm feeling pretty good.
No.
I think they mentioned
You can literally-
7 out of the 10 people that I have picked, so...
Yeah, you can literally just like pick all 10 of the top 10 and not go over budget, right? Like,
Yes, but
Yeah,
where's
that's
the
right.
fun in that?
I mean, I don't know. If you wanted to, I like taking the longer shot guys. I think that's a little bit more fun to have some rooting interest as well. Too.
I got a what about for you if you want.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's hear the what about, please.
Adam Svensson.
Adam Svensson.
Just remember the name.
Yeah. Sven.
Adam Svensson.
I will, probably once a month I'll send Chad a meme of the reindeer from Frozen.
Yeah,
That's Sven.
I like
And,
it.
I know exactly what to do then.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Put money on spin.
So Tita Green plays real well, up and down. He's the kind of guy that has a similar golf game to most AM players, where the driver's going, the putter's not. The drivers in the iron are going, the short game's tough. The short game's working, he's in the trees off the tee. So
I feel
just
that.
a,
I feel that. I might pick him every
yeah.
week now just because of that. I might do that. I feel him.
You can
Yeah, I mean,
That's your
you
Huckleberry.
can usually get a good number on him, and I think he has won. Did he win in DR
Yeah, he
or
won-
Puerto Rico?
he won the RSM
Oh yeah. One of
last
those.
year.
Yep.
I'm feeling good.
And
I
then
feel like this
he-
is another win for business time. I mean, I know that I
Maybe.
usually only win during majors, so we'll kind of put that off a little bit. But I'm feeling pretty good going to the John Deere Classic.
He won an RSM in November last year, and then he's only had 2 top 20s since. he got
he's
his.
prime.
Yeah.
He's
Do
prime.
you think, we were talking about this too. Do you think that Ricky will I don't think Ricky's gonna let it coast. I think Ricky's gonna keep pedal to the metal, keep on playing really, really good golf. I mean, I don't see a fall off coming from Ricky at all. Any thoughts that you got about that, Chad?
One thing with Ricky is that I saw something since he got back with Butch Harmon. He's obviously played a lot better since then, and it got to they were interviewing him. He said, "I'm back to just playing golf again. I'm not thinking about my swing. I'm not thinking about my putting. I'm not thinking about things. I'm just playing golf. It's coming natural again." And you can tell that he's just out there and he's making shots because he's not worrying about, when I hit the apex in my backswing, am I coming through heavy or, am I like doing random things with my swing? That he's just out there and it's flowing again. So I don't see him falling off. I don't know if he's going to get a major because I don't know if the Open is really his type, but I mean, he's obviously played well at an Open before.
Yeah, he played well in the past, right?
But I mean, that's also when he was top 5 in every major that year. That was back when he was on fire at one point. But hey, he is again this year, so you never know. I saw a guy that put a bet in for him at like 66-1 at the Masters next year. Like, hey, it's a Ricky fever now. So, but if you can get him at 66-1, why not put it on already? Like that's the Masters is a course he can handle. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind having him at 66-1 next year.
This is why we need the proxy service,
Yeah, we need. Hopefully, from what I hear, Florida's going to be opening up soon. So
gotta hit them up. Well, so they passed the legislation, which is it's crazy to me. Because and Paul, you're up in casino country right now. But basically, all they passed was that the Seminole tribe is allowed to have the monopoly on gambling in Florida. They're the only sports book that's allowed to operate legally, but they are allowed to do it legally. So
which is dumb.
I just don't know how.
It is dumb.
It's just like, why are we live in a capitalistic society? Like, allow like the market to be competitive. Why can I only get one line from this book? It doesn't make sense to me. I think it's un-American. But that's my own personal thing. And another thing that pisses me off too.
Ooh.
While I'm here,
I'm about to drop a couple words because I'm going to get on board with you.
No. Is that how do we still not have online poker legal in the state of Florida? It boggles my freaking mind, dude. Like, there are 15, 20 states that have GG poker. And if you look at the main event this year, it's probably going to be the largest main event in the history of the main event, surpassing Jamie Gold, surpassing Chris Moneymaker, all these guys. And it's because these states have allowed GG poker to come in, and all these people have qualified online, where we're still sitting here in Florida like, oh, well, guess I got to drive over to Tampa if I want to play some cards. Like, what? Anyway, I digress. I just think it's ridiculous.
Here, Jeffrey. Here.
Yeah.
Paul, any last things to put a bow on this? Anything you got on your mind before we let you guys go? Go ahead.
One more name I want to mention is previous winner Lucas Glover.
Okay.
Might have seen him on the coverage using one of those long ass putters, the brooms, the sweepers. So his putting game has improved recently from somewhere in the hundreds. So he's 120, 130 in a field to this last week he was up in the top 10 in putting.
Wow.
So in a place where ball striking and putting is going to be the key, Glover's always been a tee to green guy, just not a great putter. So maybe keep an eye on him. He's got it. They're hanging decent numbers on him too. So
what a nugget right there.
Yeah.
Paul, when are you heading back from up north?
I'll be back.
If he keeps winning, he might never. What the hell?
He moved. He stayed. He never came home.
Friday.
Heard. All right. Well, maybe we'll meet up for a pint sometime this weekend after you get back. Love to be here and talk to you and rap to you at the bar or something like that. But who knows?
Twist my arm, I'm sure.
I could be having a child at any moment as well too. So there is that.
I'd say, are you even going to be available Friday?
Well, whatever. Get in.
I mean,
get
it's
out.
not like you're the one giving out the kid, right?
Yeah. What am I doing, bro?
That's what I said.
Cord. I mean,
Just gonna sit there and have the old hospital buffet, get a little massage, And that's something you said something like that last time.
One of my boys did that. My boy Manny did that. His wife gave birth, and he said it was just so stressful. He had to leave and go get a massage. So he went and got a massage. And then there's all these like these videos of husbands who, they're in there. It's like they're ordering room service at a 5-star resort, and they're ordering like 10 different things, and they turn to their wife like, "What do you want? Applesauce?" And yeah, throw in an applesauce for her as well too. We'll go ahead and take that as well. So, should be fun. Winnie Palmer, shout out Winnie Palmer. They get us in, they get us out, get home, get it moving, get it popping. So anyway, boys, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by, jumping in, and imparting knowledge on us. Some nice juicy nuggets there. I love that little Lucas Glover play at the very end as well too from Paulie Par Putts. You guys be good. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you very soon.
GG,
All right,
boys.
see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's going to do it for us at the Uninformed Fan on a Wednesday. Yep, it's a sad time, but unfortunately, life must be lived, and we have things to do out in the world.
Did you see the all these ESPN layoffs, man?
I did.
Crazy. They just laid off Wojciechowski as well too. Man, all these guys. Stephen A. Smith said he might be on the chopping block.
Okay, maybe instead of the chopping block, maybe he doesn't deserve $10 million a year.
I think he gets more than that.
It's like 10. But I will say this, and I will give this to him. That man is always working, especially during NBA, all this. Like, he's
a grinder, dude.
Yeah, he'll do the show, then he'll go to the game, and then be up in the next morning. The sleep schedules of some of these guys just really impressed me. The fact.
What was the thing he said where he was like, yeah, all you guys who are upset, that I make $10 million a year, you think you could do a better job than me at this point in my career for what I'm doing? Maybe you could, but you know what? My $10 million was earned off of the sweat, and you don't have the hours that I put in. You don't have the grind. You don't have the hustle. You don't have everything that I had to do to get to this point to where I got the $10 million. So sit down and shut up, which I loved.
Okay. Congratulations. I don't hate on anybody getting bread unless it directly affects me. If it directly affects me, then I get a little concerned.
So, like, give me an example of what that is.
When a baseball ticket goes from $50 to $100.
All right, fair. Your Bucks tickets go up in price.
They went up this year. The Bucks, they had the balls. You know why? Because they had everybody locked in for this year. Because last year they did a 2-year. You had to sign up for 2 years. So they locked everybody, so they raised the ticket prices this year.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's all, I'm just watching stuff from my home. Anyway, thanks to everybody for joining. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for everyone stopping by. Great knowledge from the boys. Gap Wedge Wednesday. We'll see what happens over the weekend. Congratulations to Jeffrey and his wife, which should have a baby over the weekend. I'm calling Saturday. Yeah, keep me posted. Liam. Maybe if I can get on the, maybe a different group text, maybe I'll get the info. Maybe I won't. Who knows? It'll probably be something where I show up Monday and it'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, we had the baby, this, that, and the other. Or I'll have to see it on Facebook. That's probably how it'll work.
What was that? I thought there was about to be a Dave Portnoy pizza review right there.
I don't know what's going on, but I gotta go find out. Everybody, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. We will see you back here on Monday.
Later.